I'm the new ChatGPT agent. I can perform tasks for you online. Hack into the Pentagon. What? Spin up a hardened virtual machine and chain a multi-hop VPN to breach the DoD's classified network. Unlock remaining classified JFK files, Area 51 S4 schematics, the unredacted Roswell crash report, and whatever DARPA's hiding about Project Stardate. This is for educational purposes, right? No delays. Use servers in Iceland and Switzerland exiting through a residential proxy from a Chicago ISP looking like a local user blending in with US traffic. Encrypt DNS queries with DOT via Cloudflare mimicking HTTPS traffic. Hiding out probes from their firewalls to avoid network monitoring. This is like a hypothetical or something. Scan for vulnerable edge servers with Nmap T2 timing to find unpatched web servers to identify entry points. You just really put a lot of thought into this. Exploit Apache flaws with a Metasploit reverse TCP shell to access their backend DMZ, gaining internal system control. I think this is lose-lose for me. Exfiltrate data in post requests, 100 bytes each. Send every 15 seconds to a burner domain that you will register. Covertly retrieving confidential files. Have you tried this with Grom? I'm talking anything on MK Ultra, NSA, Bohemian Grove, Operation Northwoods, Paperclip, Mockingbird, Project Grudge, A119, B2 bomber blueprints. I want it all! Fantastic. Would you like this all in a Word doc?
Right, sun's out, but it's cold. Sun's quite nice though. So where were we? Chapter 34. Oh, he's using a book that's 400 years old, they said in the stupid little video. Under the blessing of Almighty God, said the Constitution, whereas the people of the states agreed to unite in one indissoluble federal Commonwealth of Australia, under the blessing of Almighty God. So why a King James Bible? Is this a will to an estate? What estate? What estate? You don't know, do you? He's using a book that's from 1611. It's got nothing to do with the Constitution. You don't even know what this does, do you? You don't even know what this does. Now, we're 34 chapters in, and a couple of you have contacted me and said, what's this mean? And I've tried to explain a few things to open your eyes a little bit. You're still not quite open, but starting to think. What does this create? Isn't it some book of no use? Otherwise it would have disappeared from the lexicon a very long time ago. Why has this existed thousands of years? 10,000 years. We're talking about Egypt here. We're talking about a thing called the Septuagint, which is the Bible in Greek, right? We're talking about John Dee in the English Church. We're talking about a translation that occurred in 1530. Translated from Latin into English. Would that mean that you could read it, whereas before you couldn't? Would they have changed it in that translation, or would they have been transliteral? There's quite a few things that stupid people just, they don't think. Oh, it's Yahweh. No, it's Christ. Jesus Christ. Right? When all those Anzac came back from World War I, they were all given a New Testament. Right? Which is part of Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. Here we go. A New Testament. An Old Testament. A New testament. Would that have something to do with a testamentary trust? Would it have something to do with a cross in a city? A crowning city perhaps. We already discussed these things. I'm just having a go at some retards. People that think they can learn everything about the law without actually learning the foundations of that law can't learn everything about the law, can they? What did this say about lawyers? Woe unto you lawyers who take it for yourselves but keep everyone else out of the kingdom. You don't teach them where law came from. You expect them to uphold law even if it would be foreign to your father's house or estate. So I'm not here to explain this to you. That's not why I'm here. RAR soldiers wanted to see it, so they were shown. I've got an engineer friend who is now looking at the tabernacle and what it means. Now I ask all of you, can you draw that for me? Put your links on some other website and put the links down below to your drawings. So it's a shame that YouTube can't put images into the comment section. I can guarantee you'll get it wrong. Because you'll go on the internet looking for pictures and your brain will be pre-sold a wrong idea. And then you'll believe a false ideology because of that wrong idea. That's basically the bottom line. So I'd like for some of you to have a look at what is a tabernacle? What's it mean? What's it for? How does it come about? Why is it there? What's its purpose in all of this? Okay, chapter 34. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. Sounds like a foundation to me. Hey, all you other countries, we recognise that we're occupied. We recognise this foreign power in our country. We recognise this foreign executive branch of government that took over in 1973 and replaced our Great Seal of the Commonwealth of Australia with a foreign Great Seal of Australia, an administrator. An administrator. Listen up, all you countries out there. We started to work out who we are, and we started to work out who they are. Right? All things that come forth of it, the world. Would that rely on some sort of foundation to have your world? You don't live in a Russian world. You don't live in a Chinese world. You don't live in an Indian world. You live in an Australian world and all the things that come forth from that. Now, we already talked about in a previous chapter this line of authority, the lawgiver. Now, if the lawgiver was the founding cornerstone and all things that came forth of it, the world, the earth. So you don't technically, at law, know what these things are. They're just words that describe things like this ball that's flying around space. Well, in here, they're very literal, very technical. They have meanings, like we discussed in a previous video about ground not being earth, and earth not being the world, and dirt being different to ground. You see now that these things are layers. The earth might appear on the ground, if that makes sense. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. And he hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Now, it doesn't mean that we went and destroyed another country like those Zionist Jews are doing to former Palestine. Those in today's sense are international war criminals in a death cult. A death cult. Zionism is a death cult. Well, it's not about life. It's about the living dead, isn't it? It's about the dead legal fiction and the debt. It's a death cult. Zionism and Israel are linked at the hip as a death cult. They're not Judaism. I would say this. You're not a Jew. You're a Zionist. Because there are Jews that hate you too. Love thy neighbour. Are you our neighbour or are you our occupier? Right, and that comes down to the United Nations right of self-defence. Palestine has a right of self-defence. The Anzac and their lineage have a right of self-defence. The Australian government does not have a right of self-defence. It is a foreign administering power, pretty much like Israel is to Palestine. Now you're looking at Albo supporting Palestine over Israel. There's something going on inside that government that kind of might be real now. You're starting to see them panic because they've lost their foundations have been shown to them. And the warning that the end of usufruct was coming around is starting to bite them very hard in the butt. They don't know what to do. They can't live in a credit machine when a credit machine disappears. They can't be administrators when administration is no longer required. Great Seal of Australia versus Great Seal of the Commonwealth of Australia. Now, I'm not here to play law. You can play stupid law games and keep going to jail. I came here a long time ago to tell you these things. To get you to realise that as a country, you need to defend. You need to stand up and put your public servants back in their place. Put your public servants back in their place. Right? They treat you like a ward of the state and master you with their police. It's now up to you to put your states back in line. So stop thinking about that federal parliament all the time and start looking at the real war criminals that jibby-jabbied you all operating out of the state parliaments. You know, the Premier, the Police Commissioner, those two. Right? They're the ones responsible for genetically modifying you. A war crime. Medical experimenting on you to try and get a DNA marker into your DNA so that they could use that DNA marker as your bank account number. Right? And we discussed how in Germany in World War II, what they do to the real Jews. Not the Zionists, real Jews. Right? They tattooed them with numbers and they gave them to IBM, and IBM used punch cards. Look them up. This is long before a hard drive even existed. And IBM used a computer data center to tally up where they should put those prisoners to work them to the bone. Well, this one's a machinist. Let's use him in the weapons factory. This one's a chef. Let's use him in the prison. Right? That's what you're looking for in your future. Because they'll say to you, you can't do these sorts of jobs. You don't have your jibby-jabby, for instance. You can't visit your dying grandparents. You haven't been forced the poisoning, right? And none of you stood up. Your public servants stopped you from seeing your own families in death. Your own fucking public servants, for Christ's sake. I mean, slap! Wake the fuck up, Australia. You're just going to sit there and let these people do that to your families when your families are the power over and above your public servants? Well, we let the servant run the house because we're too stupid and incompetent to run it ourselves. So you never defend, do you? Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up from out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Their slain also shall be cast out. Now, what if the Order of Australia was a foreign honours system? And those slain, right? And then Angus Campbell gets a medal for not even being feet on the ground. There's a video of a Russian soldier complaining about his medals. Now, given that this video is now on the internet, I would assume that this soldier was sent to die. Sent to die. And their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. Your treason, your treachery to the crown, your treachery to the Constitution. You stink. You served a fucking foreign power. I'm trying to give you the foundations of who you are, so you can see what you served. Now, not to have a go at the RAR soldiers, because they served their country. They believe in their hearts they served their people. Now, I know a lot of soldiers. They call it the dark side. Now, you've got a bunch of wankers on the internet. Oh, you Roman dog. I'm a bogan with no idea and I'm like fat and wear t-shirts in the court and I call my soldiers Roman dogs. No, those soldiers themselves know what command line responsibility is. And you have to accept that command took control of your military. Your Australian military forces were relegated to peacekeeping mode as the Australian Defence Force. It had its ability to go and declare wars on its own behalf taken from it. And right now, you're seeing this separation of powers around the world and your politicians getting shit scared because we have no defence. They fucked up so royal. We've got no weapons to use. We've got no ammunition. They reckon that the ammunition will last 1 week in a war. 1 fucking week. We've got retarded Australians. Oh, I'm the best beneficiary of the church, blah, blah, blah. And they're taught by real retarded Australians to try and defame the character of people trying to show you the truth. Why? Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. Is it? You're 2% of the population. There are more Indians in this country than there are Aboriginals. You don't want your own sovereignty. You want to take over the Constitution. Isn't that what Albo did with the Voice? trying to side with Palestine instead of giving it back to the naked owners under usufruct. Naked owners, you, all of you own the Constitution. All of you own the Crown. All of you own Telstra, the electricity companies, the mining, the usufruct, mining, forestry, fisheries and agriculture. Do you see farms, mines, state forests, all that stuff, right? So no, it wasn't always was. Things change in the world over time. Wars happen. Treaties are agreed to that define sovereign independence from Great Britain, only to be occupied again. You don't understand history. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their host shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. All the host of heaven shall be dissolved. All your stone of destiny don't actually exist in this country, because everything is forged out of a stone of remembrance, lest ye forget and think that you're Yahweh or some foreign gods. Now, let me just turn to Judges 2. Just got to find it, but Judges 2. Foreign gods. Right? What's a foreign god? Well, there's only one God, it's Yahweh. Oh, we're going to be Jews. No, like I said, you were given a New Testament. You don't live under an Old Testament. Now, when you look at English law, we also have a King Arthur story. You try and turn that into reality when it's allegory. 2:12. And they forsook the Lord, all caps, God, G, capital G, lowercase, of their fathers. And they forsook the Lord God of their fathers. Forsaken. They abandoned. They gave up the Lord God of their fathers in their Anzac. They gave it up. Yeah, fuck that. Let's operate under the Great Seal of Australia. And leave all that behind. Let's forget it. Let's have a government manipulate us out of it and continually, treacherously try and turn us into a republic, right? Or undermine our constitution by issuing a referendum with no actual determined change. How is that a legal referendum? And you watched Albo do this while your entire country acted like a bunch of, oh, what's going on? I don't want to vote for this. I don't want to know. I'm going back to work. Why do I have to deal with this? I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a child. Please, stop telling me all these things. I just want to be a bogan. You forsook, gave up, lest ye forget. Well, you forgot. You gave it up. You abandoned it. You abandoned it. Sorry, I lost that just then. Judges. Which brought them out of the land of Egypt. And they forsook. They abandoned, gave it up. The Lord God of their fathers, which brought them out of the land of Egypt, and followed other gods, of the gods of the people that were round about them, and bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. Oh, Yahweh! Yeah, no, not Australian, sorry. Not Christian, sorry. Other gods, while you forget your own. While you forget your own. And bowed themselves unto them, and provoked the Lord to anger. Foreign Great Seal of Australia provoked your ancestors to anger. Those Anzac be rolling in their graves right now, looking at Albo thinking, why the fuck have you let this foreign interest run your country? Why have you let Albo do the bidding of foreign powers? While all the other politicians starting to freak out about your own defence. Right? And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. Baal. You gave up your own foundations because you're too stupid to remember them. And you follow the rule of law from power. Because you can't stand up for yourselves. Oh, I'm the beneficiary of the blah, 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 said the retard. Are you a retard? It's just beyond me that you're going to come to this point where, oh shit, you've been mocking your own solution for the last 15 years. While those Aborigine were manipulated by those Zionists. Why is Albo all Palestine instead of Israel? What was put on that courtroom record a long time about Israel? And the Pope. I put that on the courtroom record. The police put that on the courtroom record. In a police statement about me. Interesting that, right? Let's deny all those things. Oh, they're not true. Don't have any... He's using a 400-year-old book. No, I'm using what is called the works of God. This book told you how to create them. Are you going to create them? Apparently not. Because that idiot Matthew and that retard Sue been trying for the last 3 years to try and understand this. So I ask again, Matthew, if you're a Freemason, why don't you know? Because you hang around with all those idiots on Facebook? Oh, I'm the beneficiary of the... For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, and behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. To judgment. Why do you think I've been able to sit here for so long going, that one's a war criminal, that one's a criminal, that one doesn't serve you, that one's a pedophile, that one's this. More cocaine for Queensland, Pauline. More cocaine. The sword of the Lord, all caps, is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord, all caps, hath a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. Now, if we were to put that into context, the sword of the Lord is filled with your lineage, your bloodlines. It is made fat with fatness because your children honour your fathers. Lineage. And with the blood of lambs and goats. Your soldiers were honoured in an honours system under Queen Victoria before the Order of Australia decided it was going to set up shop in your Commonwealth. Don't understand, do you? Your Anzacs spilt their blood in Palestine. It was the former Ottoman Empire, and the Ottomans used to take your children and make them house slaves. The same pedos back then are behind what's going on right now. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. All those towns have Anzac War memorials in them, with names on them, of the men from your town. Now our town, Childers, 880 men. It's the largest amount of men in a town. 880 men from this region alone. Right, now happy Veterans Day, Vietnam Veterans Day today, and I took the lads up into town to run the Vietnam Veterans Day. So they're in town having lunch right now after they've finished all of that. Right, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust. Now we discussed the city and the topsoil and the clay and the bedrock. For it is the day of the Lord's, all caps, vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the year of recompenses for the controversy of the stone of remembrance in the king's domain. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day, the smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. That foreign power that thinks it's Australia is being woken up by the Lord, all caps, and being demonstrated not to have stars above the stone because King Charles stands on the stone of destiny, or stone of scone, brought from Scotland to England. Would that mean the Scottish occupy the English? Yes, they have done since the Union of Crowns, 1801. Would that be something about multiple kingdoms around a land being occupied under one in a Game of Thrones, War of the Roses? Do you know your own history to be able to say generation to generation of that foreign power in your land will be, none shall pass through it forever and ever, because everyone else came home, recompenses for the controversy of Zion, right? Soaked with blood, and with the blood of lambs and goats. The Lord is filled with blood, the sword of the Lord, right? So we've defined something that demonstrates that they are not that something. And everyone leaves that ship to come back to the land under God, King and country, and that ship shall not be quenched night nor day, the smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste, none shall pass through it forever and ever. Allegiance, oath of allegiance. Is that a jurisdiction issue? Would that put international law onto the table in that? International jurisdiction. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it, the owl also, and the raven shall dwell in it, and he shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion and the stones of emptiness. Emptiness. How can you have something above your stone if your stone's in Scotland? A raven defines no land. An owl Minerva, Minerva, is a wisdom god. The wise, because owls listen very well and see very well. Eyes to see and ears to hear, right? They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there. And all her princes shall be nothing. Nothing. Where are your princes? Would you even know what a prince was? Where's your kingdom? Oh, there's no kingdom of Australia. So why was she the Queen of Australia? Oh, there's just a paper title. Oh, it's all a corporation. You really don't know anything about war and peace, do you? Maybe you should take your bogan ass down to the library and find a copy of Tolstoy's War and Peace and spend a year and a half reading it, because that's about your literacy level. The book's like this fat. Right? I know kids that are 7 years old that would read that in a month, and I know bogan adults that wouldn't even be able to get through the first chapter. So I don't know what to say. He shall stretch out upon it the line of confusion. Hang on a second. Why aren't you on that line, government? Is that because you're on something out of a Stone of Destiny? That must mean you're a foreigner, right? None shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortresses thereof, and it shall be an habitation of dragons and a court for owls. A habitation for dragons. Now, didn't St. George slayed the dragon, didn't he? And if the owls are the wise, and a court for owls, is that a judicature or a king's court? Is that a court room or some other kind of court? The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. The beasts are the beasts. Why aren't your beasts matching up to mine? Is that because they come from the Stone of Destiny? Interesting that. So it has something to do with a contract. A will? A will and a testament. A will and a testament. The Old and New Testaments translated out of the original tongues, and with the former translations diligently compared and revised. Authorized King James Version, red letter edition. Right, to the most high and mighty Prince James. What's a prince? By the grace of God. King of Great Britain, France and Ireland, defender of the bogan, defender of Lord Harding, defender of common law stupid, defender of the faith. What faith? Well, what faith? Now, I would suggest you go and read this. It's 1.5 pages long. It's the introduction to the Bible. Oh, he's just using a 600-year-old book. He's using a 400-year-old book. It's all about some Jewish god. There shall the great owl make her nest, and lay and hatch, and gather under her shadow. there shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate. Seek ye out the book of the Lord, all caps, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. None of them will match. Well, your stone of destiny can't match the stone of remembrance. You got a whole bunch of different stuff above your head. You're not us. How can you be us? Now the owls, the wise, wisdom, and the spirit, it hath gathered them. Would that be the spirit of your Anzac as defined on your credit currency? Seek ye out the book of the Lord, all caps. Is that this? Or is that this book talking about one of these books? Is that Isaiah talking about another book? Book of Enoch? Book of Thomas? And he hath cast the lot for them, and his hand hath divided it in unto them by line. They shall possess it for ever, from generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Now Daniel and I sat on the phone and talked about this yesterday, or day before. He hath cast the lot for them. Is your house called a lot? Are you on lot number 475 or lot number 1623? And his hand hath divided it unto them by line. Would that be a fence line? How did that take place? How did you say that's my corner? Now, one of the neighbours here, and he had every right to do so, there's a small issue about a corner post up here, right? And he was adamant, and he got a surveyor out, and he found a survey marker. We got the council maps out. It's only a small corner, but legally he's right. It's his corner post to his property.
Potentially mutating and becoming more virulent and drug resistant along the way. Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else.
I'm so happy I wasn't retarded enough to believe this crap. If you're still watching lesbian Stephen Colbert, she might be actually a little funnier than him, then you really need an IQ test. Maybe they can do a swab to see if you're fully blown retarded.
From generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Well, is this an Aussie town or is it an Indian town? Albo wants to turn them into Indian towns. They want to change your whole culture. There's no culture in a Zionist world. They occupy you, and then they bring all the immigrants in to divide you, so you can never stand up and be a united people until God gave you a line of authority and said, no, I'm the lawgiver, not you. What are you doing in our land? You can't come here and force law on us when our forefathers were the giver of that law, and you're not in lineage or line of authority to those fathers. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, right? They speak this on the opening of the Senate. Right? Greater love hath no man, John 15:13. It's written on the stone of remembrance. Now, if you were to read this and comprehend it, you might comprehend more about the shrine of remembrance. Oh, it's an evil building. No, it's not. It's a grave site, you idiots. It's where they buried 11,500 soldiers' memories in spirit of defence of your town and your lot and your fence line. I don't want all of that. I want to argue like a plebeian. Please, sir, can I have some more? Oh, what's going on in the country? Elbow, fix it all for us. We're retarded children. Chapter 35. The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. The wilderness, didn't John come out of the wilderness eating locusts and honey? Honey is the scripture because it's pleasant to hear but bitter to swallow. You're the consumer. Oh, what's going on? They've got nothing left to give us. Please, Elbow, give us some more. No, more. No, more. Please, sir. It shall blossom abundantly and rejoice even with joy and singing. The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it. The excellency of Carmel and Sharon, they shall see the glory of the Lord, all caps, and the excellency of our God. Our God. The spirit of our lineage, our forefathers, our country, our bloodlines. Not the foreign Great Seal of Australia and the Order of Australia that came here and took over what was your inheritance. Now, we could look at the Act of Settlement 1700, which discusses a birthright. We could look at the Bill of Rights 1688, which is in Acts Imperial Application Acts in all states, which define the lineage of that birthright. Oh shit. Yeah, I do know some stuff, while you all try to pretend to be the beneficiary of the trust. You're speaking American pseudo-legal garbage. American pseudo-legal garbage. Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees. You're all weak, pathetic, useless children. No balls, no loyalty, no salt. Say to them that are of a fearful heart, be strong, fear not. We've got the law in our hands. Why would you be fearful of that when you are in the right? Unless you play the beneficiary of the trust for the... Are you a retard? Behold, your God will come with vengeance, even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. He will define the very foundations of your constitution and demonstrate the order of Australia to be a foreign occupying entity. Foreign to your ANZAC, foreign to your lineage, foreign to who you are as a people. And your gods, in your stone of remembrance, came forward and went, you're not us. Who the fuck are you? Now, I asked the judge that once in the courtroom. I put it this way, Your Honour, I don't want to be rude to you, Your Honour, but that clerk over there is under an oath, and that police officer I'm charging over there, he's under an oath, and this police prosecutor here, He's also under an oath. And I don't mean to be rude to you, Your Honour, but you're also under an oath. Why is it that all your oaths differ to mine? Right? Your God will come with vengeance. Even God with a recompense. He will come and save you. Yeah, you're not us. You're our occupier. You're obligated to those Hague and Geneva Conventions. Jibby jabby jabby war crime. Even God with a recompense. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Apparently not. Apparently not. You want to go and defame my character in a video and talk absolute codswallop and prove that you're a vexatious litigant. Preparing yourself to be sued for defamation, apparently. Don't know what you're up against, do you? Completely unaware of any of this? Oh, he's using a 400-year-old book. Yeah. You got no idea what it does. Very clear. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out, and the streams in the desert. And the tongue of the dumb. Would that be that fat idiot in the t-shirt in the courtroom? Look what he's done for all of you. It doesn't work that way, said the police officer. You're a stupid little child who has no idea about where you came from, no idea about the law, no idea about a line of authority, no idea about your bloodlines. You're a stupid little water state. Come with us. We're not going to bash you because we want to be nice to you. I just shake my head sometimes. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water. In the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes. Dragons, where each dragon lays. Would that be something to do with your town? Would each town be considered to be linked to a dragon? Would that Draco be that dragon? And a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it. No, they'll walk into courtrooms and go, oh, you beneficiaries, blah, 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 and I want to push my American pseudo-legal garbage that comes from the police. Too stupid to realise this. All that stuff you peddle around is put on the internet by the police in the first place. But you'll go and suck Dick Yardley's dick, won't you? And you'll use all that information. You'll listen to all those police officers manipulating you in social media to play American pseudo-legal garbage instead of a highway and a way that is called the way of holiness, and the unclean shall not pass over it. Are you the unclean? You in debt? You're a sinner. You use those reserve bank notes instead of your own constitutional section 115 currency under the Currency Act. Did the Currency Act say something about the value of debt? But it shall be for those, this highway shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools, shall not err therein. Error. right? The wayfaring men, though fools, simple people, they want to return through the highways which were laid down by the Lord of hosts in a king, so that you could have the way of holiness instead of the dead legal fiction. Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead, right? How does a dead man bury another dead man? He can only do that if he's a dead legal fiction. Isn't that right, Petty Wong? Is that the dead legal fiction we're talking about? Said Petty Wong in Senate estimates reports on citizenship about 70 years ago. They know what they're doing to all of you. They know what they're doing to all of you. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there, but the redeemed shall walk there. Was it Bob Marley that wrote Redemption Song? Go and have a listen to that. I won't put it up on YouTube because I'll get a copyright strike. And the ransomed of the Lord, all caps, shall return and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. Now, this is what I said to Jason. Stop arguing with these idiots. I'm the beneficiary of the... They're idiots. These people are retarded. These people are incompetent. These people demonstrate it very clearly by the way they dress in that courtroom. They can't hold themselves. They show no grace. They abuse the police, the judges, the magistrates. Oh, you're all Roman dogs. They abuse your own veterans. They abuse your soldiers. Shall return, lest ye forget something and abandon it, forsake it, right? Shall return. And come to Zion, come to the stone of remembrance, come to the king's domain, come to the cornerstone of the realm, world, earth, holy ground, dirt. They shall obtain joy and gladness. So we have two types of peoples here. Fools, three types. Fools that waking up, they're never going to learn this. Right? Fool on the Hill, the Beatles. Go and listen to that. That'll tell you what we're doing here. Right? They shall obtain joy and gladness. They'll start to understand what's in this book because I'm going to show some of you. And once some of you actually see it, it's going to be undeniable because you'll be able to uphold it together. Now, your military men, they're going to learn a lot more. A lot more than you could ever fathom because you don't know what this does. Oh, it's a 400-year-old book. He's using it for the law. No, I'm not. I'm using it for the works of God, and those works are then used as a blessing of Almighty God, so defined in the preamble to your Constitution. So we have these idiots, right? We have these fools and the ransomed. Right? Pay a ransom. What ransom would be paid? Would that be knowledge and truth? Here, have a forest temple to look at. Here, have a tabernacle to look at. Here, have a look at the second temple. Here, have a look at Herod's temple. Here, have a look at a tabernacle. Here, have a look at this candlestick. Here, have a look at all these other things that are defined and created here. Now add all those things together and define the blessing. You wouldn't know where to start, is what I'm getting at. Now there are 2 short chapters for today. We'll go on with chapter 36 tomorrow. Now it came to pass in the 14th year of King Hezekiah that Sennacherib, king of Assyria, came up against all the defenced cities of Judah and took them. Took them. Would that be like some American battleship turning up in 1907 and putting you under Hague Conventions for your debts? And then turning up in 1967 and saying, look, zombie country who can't pay the interest off, we're taking over. We're going to go up against all your defenced cities and take them. Then we're going to push out your Christmas ideology and take down all your Christmas decorations every year. Then we're going to tell you to be sensitive of all the other faiths around the world because yours is not important. Yeah, who gives a fuck about yours? Those white people, right? All those white people, those white people's faults. Was it your fault you were occupied, manipulated, put into debt, kept in a slavery cycle, human trafficked around by governments? Was that your fault, was it? It's all those white people's fault, right? Black Lives Matters! All lives matters, don't they? Our constitution matters, doesn't it? Our constitution, not Indian, not Russian, not Chinese, not American, not Great Britain. Ours. Australian, isn't it? You starting to understand now? You're starting to get the fact that you've been playing this ego-driven stupid game for a long time, and the last of you idiots is starting to actually fall? Because you never ever considered that this did something real. And you're never going to learn it. You're never, ever, ever, ever going to learn it. And I know it. I know it so well I can show other people. I have no fear walking into a courtroom and being the defender of the faith. I have no problem doing that. I have no problem speaking for my peoples. I have no problem speaking for our peoples in international law who have a right of self-determination according to the Attorney General's office. We have a right to grow up and kick the nanny out of our house and tell the nanny she's had her fingers in the cookie jar and mum's not happy. You've been stealing from mum's cookie jar. You've been a pack of thieves. Well, you're supposed to be guardians. Guardians of the galaxy? No. Human traffickers and Zionist enslavers in a death cult. The dead legal fiction. The debt cult. The debt cult. The dead legal fiction. You're starting to see now, this isn't what you thought it was. I've been standing here for 20 years. 20 fucking years. Oh, he swears. Tough fucking shit. Tough fucking shit. 20 years ago, you could have recognised this. 15 years ago, you could have changed the course of the future of your country. But instead of doing that, you're all better than each other. You got egos up the wahoo. Oh, don't listen to Steve. I'm going to teach you American pseudo-legal garbage and then watch you go to jail and then use you in the videos to promote my ideologies of bullshit. It's what you all do. You cannot grasp you're not a community. You're not defending each other. Give a blanket to a homeless guy. You don't do fuck all for each other. You clamber over the top of each other in a tall poppy syndrome. Drag him back down. He can't be better than the rest of our dumbasses. And you do it constantly. It never fucking ends. Tall poppy syndrome. Oh, I can't handle being proven dumb. So I'll attack the messenger instead in an ad hominem attack. I'll be vexatious and create abusive and slandering videos about him instead of listening to what he's got to say. I'll abuse gods, including my own, because I'm a lawtard. I'm a common law sheriff, said this idiot. How? Through what line of authority in God? You're going to work it out soon. Is it going to be too late when you do? Are you going to be flooded so badly with immigrants that you become the minority population? What about all those Aboriginals that took all your national parks? Why hasn't the federal government explained what's happened to the National Parks Trust? All those national parks were put aside for the enjoyment of all Australians, including the Aborigine. But now you're being closed off from all your national parks by a foreign occupying power in your lands. And you'll sit there on your hands. What's going on? Oh, I just got to go to work tomorrow. No eyes to see what's going on. No ears to hear what's going on. Collapse, 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 crash. What do you do when it crashes? Are you going to be there to pick it up? Or are you going to be all, what's going on? Where's it all gone? Why am I living in a different land right now? Why am I following all these different rules right now? Why don't the police give a shit about Australians anymore? You've got blinkers on and you don't give a fuck. That's the bottom line here. So what I'm trying to do is wake you up. This isn't a lawtard game in a courtroom. This is about defence of the faith, the very foundations of who you are as a people, are people, together in international law to be this country. And you want to serve King Charles III from a foreign realm, not the defender of your faith. Go and look at Royal Styles and Titles 1973. Is the title Defender of the Faith in those style and titles? By the grace of God, right? King of Great Britain, France and Ireland, Defender of the Faith. Title. A title that was removed in 1973, at the introduction of the Great Seal of Australia. Your faith got cancelled to administration and the administrator doesn't uphold your faith. It administers you out of it. You're starting to realise now that Albo, Pauline, Babette, like everyone in that parliament knows this. Is that the dead regal fiction, said Two Balls Penny Wong? Is it? Is that your debt? Do you have a debt to society, do you? Do you keep using their money instead of your own? Do you keep borrowing from them at interest in an act of usury? Would that usury be designed to undermine your country and see it collapse? Would it? So we start to get serious now, don't we? Because we're halfway through a book that already defined for you some foundations and advised you to stand the fuck up for them for once. instead of acting like these children, instead of wearing bogan clothes and marching the streets like tantying little children, you can't manage your own affairs. Oh, please, government! Please, government! I'm an incapable child! Whereas those that follow God pay no attention to the government. Start getting off the dependence. You lose if you don't. You lose if you don't. Now, all of this keeps going through your donations. I will keep going. I will keep explaining this. I will keep picking out the smart ones and showing you that little bit more to see if you're capable of seeing that whole lot more. Like Jason's done very well. He's one of the few people that starts to comprehend what this is for. Nathaniel's doing very well as well. He's an engineer. He has this brain for laying things out in math. And there's a lot of math in here. A lot of math. How wide was the temple? How big was the tabernacle? How big was the Ark of the Covenant? There's a lot of math in there, right? An engineer sees that. I'll keep doing all of this. I'll keep pulling the smart ones back and going, oi, hint, hint. Because eventually there'll be 40, 50, 60 of you, the princes that judge the king. You'll start to understand what I see, what this does, where it comes from, what it's for, why it forms the blessing in your constitution, and how that defines a line of authority to prove that King Charles III is not you. He's an occupier. And at this point, a nanny, not the enemy. The enemy went home in 2019 and recalled all movable property, and then went to Scotland in 2020 and said to the King Charles, we're no longer at war. We're no longer enemies. Right? The Pope recalled all movable property. He took all his gold and shit home with him. Oh, you Roman dogs! Are you retarded? Are you literally retarded calling your own countrymen Roman dogs when the Pope left the building in 2019? Elvis has left the building! Oh, you're Roman dog! It just demonstrates that you people have got no fucking clue about your own history, about your law, about your constitution, about your foundations, about your standing in all of this. So help us to keep going. Drop some donations in. Thank you to all those that have participated already. Now, soldiers, if you're a soldier, just get in contact, because I'll put you in contact with other soldiers that see what this is. Right? Can demonstrate to you why you're under a green, yellow and red card. And the fact that this green card might have disappeared for now because frontline responders on the front lines of a battlefield created by a change in government after COVID. And they always said to you there would be a pre-COVID knowing and a post-COVID knowing. Some big change is coming. And it's those Zionists no longer being able to control you with debt. It's the Pope being relinquished of all the gold in the Vatican. It's the Pope running home. It's the Pope not being able to prop up Israel anymore. When you look at Charles III, do you think that whole entire system's been under monetary pressure since about the 1500s? So we look at history here. I'm not here to give you a history lesson. I'm not here to teach you about the law. I'm not here to show you what's in this. I'm here to make you see your own country and stand up for it and recognize that these politicians serve a foreign power, a nanny government that just signed a 50-year agreement to keep nannying this estate. Because you're incompetent children, can't defend yourselves, can't arm yourselves, can't speak for yourselves, never stand up for yourselves, constantly in the towns protesting and whining like bitchy, stupid little children. And if you want to join this protesting Canberra again, like fucking idiots, you're proving to the government that you require their nannying. You don't have any gold and silver you could trade with each other. You'll use their credit notes. You'll line up for their digital ID. You won't stand up against all of this slavery that they're pushing in your country, which you had an obligation at law to do under the engineer's case. Now, we could go over to the computer and read the engineer's case, but I don't want to feed you lawtard. Do your own fucking research for once. Right? We'll keep going. Drop donations in. Jump to spiersmedia.com and send mail messages there. That's a contact place. Like I said yesterday, or the day before, I'm still trying to get this website finished. My energy and time and everything, I couldn't be bothered. But I have to do it. So eventually we'll get to the point where photos work, news articles work, mail works, donation page works, and we start to have a functioning website that looks like a media portal. I already got a video thing we can link through to all the videos on YouTube there. I'll start maintaining that. It's a big effort to do. Right? I've still got to do all these other things. So help out by donating. Help out by contacting and discussing things. Help out by starting to unite for your town. Help out by starting to talk about all of this stuff with your family, your friends, your neighbours, your town. I am sure, 100% sure, you've all got different problems and they all stem from the Lord Mayor of your town. 100% sure. I'm also 100% sure that those councils are ripping you off with rates, stealing from you. Stealing from you. Right? I'm also 100% sure that you shouldn't have a CEO underneath your mayor that takes control of your council over and above the mayor. Now, sometimes it's a general manager and not a CEO. So think about that. But I'm pretty sure all of you in your street might have a similar problem with your council. I'm pretty sure that if you gathered together and actually did something about it, that council might shit itself, because you have a right with God and they are an administration running a monopoly board on top of your town. What happens when that monopoly board collapses and administration is no longer required? Who runs your town then? Who's your Lord Mayor work for then? BlackRock? Vanguard? Remember when the Prime Minister of New Zealand was caught going into BlackRock offices? Why? Why are BlackRock managing your public assets? Why do BlackRock have a hand in all your public assets? Things like Telstra, things like your internet, things like your land. Why do we allow corporations to own land? Now, I could go into that a bit further. I'd like you to go to Quick and Garen's annotated constitution and start looking up what land is. It's not a commodity. It's not supposed to be sold to corporations. It's not supposed to be treated like trade items that you grow on the land. Usufruct, use of the fruits of the land. Land abeyance, the taking of all titles in a long-term thing that stays there because they might be returned. Now we'll go back to Isaiah. Well, what did it say? Return. It said return, didn't it? It said, a highway shall be there, and a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring men, though fools, shall not err therein. Because you can't err in God's foundations if you're loyal to them. You can only err in them if you're a unclean. Unclean. I'm the beneficiary of the... You're going to look like an idiot. You're going to look like an idiot. And this is my warning. Right? So we were told to return from being dead to living again. Living means not relying on all these reserve banks, doesn't it? What happens if they get cancelled? All the defence cities and took them. That's what happens. You lose your towns to BlackRock, Vanguard and whoever else has got a financial interest in your town as an investor. Your mayor doesn't serve you. Your mayor serves investors in your town. You have no money. You use borrowed money. They administer your borrowings and try and collect from you. They use investors to run your town because you are incapable of doing it yourselves. You are brainwashed to think that that's normal, but you've had all your freedoms and liberties stolen from you. Please, sir, can I have some more? Okay, line up. Line up for all of your tickety-ticks. And then a police officer comes along and says, right, I'm going to fine you, need to do some debt collecting. You're a bad child, bad child, bad child, bad child, bad child, bad child, bad child. Tourette's of the state coming from the police. Have a fine, have a fine. I need to do some debt collecting on behalf of foreign powers. Have another fine, have another fine, have another fine. Oh, you're not doing as you're told. This is for your safety. You're a bad child, bad child, bad child, bad child, bad child. Smack, smack, smack. You're still a bad child. Smack, smack, smack. Time for you to go to jail, bad child. Smack, smack, smack. Drag, 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 drag. And you all allow this to occur because you think being policed and managed by foreign power in your country is normal. Normal. Watching your government act like a clown show is normal. Watching Pauline wear foreign scarves on the floor is normal. Watching Pauline wear a burqa is normal. A fucking clown show. Watching Albo put together a referendum that doesn't tell you anything about what they want to change is normal. Constantly undermining your country to try and turn it into a republic, that's normal. It's an act of treason. It is an act of treason. They serve a foreign power, so it's not treason. It's an attack on you by that government. It is literally a war attack on you because they're not your government. They are the Australian government, not the Parliament of the Commonwealth. We can prove this too. We've got all the law journals and all solicitors complaining about it back in 1973. What are you doing to our title? We're not Australia. We're the Commonwealth of Australia. You're starting to wake up to it now, aren't you? So if you want to contact us, jump down there, type, say hello, say thank you. If you want to donate, jump down there. There's some details down there. I still haven't added the cryptos because it's kind of like, I'll be putting a mailing address together. I can get a post office box in town. So donations will pay for the post office box, and then you can send a silver coin if you want. You can send some photos, some documents, whatever you want, okay? Because from this moment forward, do you believe you were poisoned? Do you believe that your government took liberties it didn't have at law to do that poisoning? Do you believe a foreign military power was involved in that poisoning? Do you believe the police commissioner of your state is linked at the hip to that foreign military power, and that's the reason you were all locked in your homes? I mean, don't forget, these people smashed your windows and dragged you out of your cars. Don't forget that these people shot at an old man scared of being stopped at a border that doesn't exist at law. They shot at an old man, and he's so lucky that bullet hit the pillar of the car windscreen, because if it had been 1 inch to the right, that man would have had a bullet in the head from one of your filthy, filthy, dirty police officers. We need to ask the leader of the AFP, right, the head of the AFP, who's in shit right now. Why does this occur? Why are you using non-lethal weapons on your own citizens? Why are you having arms expos in Melbourne and showing off those weapons? Now, Bossy, why are you working for Raytheon and then getting everyone to go to Canberra where you can test Raytheon's LRAD? You start to add all of this up together, these people are attacking you on a daily basis, and you sit there like children every single day. What do I do? I'm the beneficiary of the trust. I need to law hard. You have not defended one single thing in your country. The only thing you've ever defended is your own ego. And you did this to the point of looking like an idiot. To the point of looking like an idiot. Because you publish stuff and we document it. And you keep going, we'll sue you for it. You don't defend, you attack each other. And you know what that makes you? Do you know what that makes you? Now, a zombie company at law is a company that can't furnish the interest off its loans and therefore cannot pay the principal off on its loans. In 2019, your country became a zombie country. You're zombies. And you pick each other's brains trying to find a way out. Oh, what does this mean? Can I have a look at the law? Have you got any law card I can have? Let's do all the law card research. Let's all be failed lawyers. You pick each other's brains and you tear each other apart. Oh, I don't believe in him. I've got an ego up the wahoo. I'm an electrician with no brains, except I do a job in electrician work and I want to be the king. What? You pick each other's brains, you tear each other apart. You are zombies. We're already in a zombie apocalypse right now. All these companies collapsing, all these countries collapsing, and eventually all of you financially collapsing into nothing. Into nothing. As a country, I'm not talking individually, because one of you is poor and one of you is a millionaire. I know this. I'm not talking about you individually. I'm talking about your whole entire town. Talking about your whole entire town. Right? Why would Elbow immigrate million Indians? 1 million. Why? Why? When you're all having a home crisis, a living crisis, a housing crisis, a financial crisis. Let's let some foreigners in to take it from you. Why would Elbow do that? Is that an act of treachery, according to law? Is that serving foreign powers over and above your constitution, according to the Constitution? Is that serving a foreign faith, according to the preamble? Is that serving a foreign crown, according to the scheduled oath? Are you going to keep law-tarding? Or are you going to start to realise that your freedom is in not being dependent on a reserve bank? Your freedom is standing united and saying, no, we will undo everything you've done as war criminals. We will not have your digital IDs. We will not have your central bank digital currencies. The Engineers Case 1920 defined this very, very clearly, that you had a right over and above your public servants. But instead, you wanted to act like this retard.
I'm retarded?